Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video, we are going to be talking about the return of the 3500 to consoles and the addition of the WJ to consoles. So, the 3500 has been off of consoles for a little while now due to needing an update reapproved. And the WJ has not been actually shown on the channel for a long time, and that's not because of any reason other than the fact that there were a lot of other vehicles we were covering, and also, this vehicle has gotten a lot of upgrades and improvements over time, and of course now leading up to becoming available and selected for consoles, and of course passing certification. So our second gen is already fully set up. Basically, we're not really going to do anything crazy with it. It's just a tow rig for the WJ, and we're going to go ahead and take the WJ into the garage and show you guys what you can expect in terms of customization, gameplay, power, all of that good stuff when you actually download the Grand Hero on your console. Now, let's go ahead and head straight into the customization. Now, we have the 4-liter inline 6. We also have the 4.7 V8, which we're definitely going to go for. Gearbox-wise, we have the stock transmission and the tuned transmission. I'm definitely going to go for the tuned transmission. And then stock suspension, lift kit, and low center of gravity flex suspension. So I always go back and forth between the lift kit and the low center of gravity suspension on this rig. Usually I prefer, on say for example, the Gladiator from R&R Customs, I usually prefer the low center of gravity suspension, but on this, I usually actually prefer the lift kit because I find that it gets a little bit hung up on the trails otherwise. So we're going to go with the lift kit on this setup. And then let's see what we can do in terms of tires. Now, we've got quite a few tires available here on offer for us. And I'm probably going to go with the Maxxis Trepadors. I actually like them a lot, and I think they look really, really good on this particular rig. Now, there's a lot of extra add-ons that you can do with this particular vehicle. And we're going to actually do, let's see. We'll just do the D-rings on the bumper and the trailer hitch. We'll go ahead and throw the trailer hitch on there. I was kind of going back and forth, but definitely going to do the rock sliders. Definitely going to do, let's see. Well, I could do the light bar on the roof, but I'm not going to yet because we don't have our roof racks on yet. So tire carriers, let's see. Decoy tire carrier black, and then, let's see. Where's a, whoop. Are you telling me we don't have a spare that actually matches? Bruh. Whoa, come on. Okay, alright, well, I guess we'll do a, I guess we'll do a bogger spare for now. So, let's see, we could do flares, which the flares do look really, really cool, and I'll probably end up doing those in body color. And then we'll do the black ARB bumper, and roof rack-wise, we're definitely going to put the roof rack on, and then go back to the light bars and see what we can do in terms of, let's see. So, light bar rack top, bottom, and top and bottom on the bumper. So now you literally have every single every single possible light bar with that particular customization configuration. So let's see. Decoy wheels, they definitely work. They definitely work actually really, really well on this build because they're simple, they're clean, but they have a look that you know is always going to work for this rig. So I could go with it in orange, and I really do like the orange. I think the orange looks great, but this thing also looks really good in green. It looks really good in blue. There's a good variety of colors that look good on this WJ platform, and it's actually really interesting because it's kind of hard to go wrong with the color choice. You could even do something like this, and it still looks good. At least in my opinion, it does. Let's fire it up. Now, actually, what's interesting about it is, even though we went with the lift kit and not the low center of gravity flex suspension, it still has a good amount of flex to it. And I'll demonstrate that to you guys over here on the flex ramp. And easy does it. Come on. Whoa. Although it is a little quick. Let's see if we can actually get it onto the ramp without causing ourselves issues. You know what? We're a lot better lined up with this side, so we'll flex it out over here. And I mean, that's with the lift kit and not the low center of gravity suspension. So you can see it's got a good amount of flex. It's nothing like crazy over the top, but it gets the job done. So now, let's go ahead and real quick, we're going to swap it out. Since we're right here, we're going to swap it out for the low center of gravity suspension and see how that affects it, see how that changes the the suspension flex that we actually have right there. So low center of gravity suspension. I just don't necessarily like how low it sits. I feel like it sits a little too low for the tires at hand, but really at the end of the day, that's not that big of a deal, although I kind of wish that the low center of gravity suspension actually sat a little bit higher. And I know that that kind of defeats the purpose of it being a low center of gravity suspension, but it would be kind of nice to have a happy medium there. So let's drive it back up the flex ramp this time. So it flexes a ton. It flexes a ton, but it also kind of clips in the front, which again, there's always going to be little in-betweens that you're going to have to figure out, but for the purposes of this video, we are going to put the lift kit back on it, and now we're going to throw it on the trailer behind the second gen and see what this thing can do, and also really kind of revisit this vehicle's capabilities, because now, you know, so many of you guys are going to be getting your hands on this vehicle for the first time. And I definitely recommend it as a part of your garage because, oh, there we go. I definitely recommend it as a part of your garage because it, to me, is one of the most versatile trail riding vehicles you can actually have right now. So let's go ahead and stop that engine. We're going to swap over to the 3500 and pack the WJ and fire it up. And the coolest thing about it, too, is the fact that the 3500 really is the perfect tow rig companion for the WJ. And I know that, you know, once again, a lot of you guys have seen these vehicles before, but so many of you were either waiting for the 3500 to return to consoles or waiting for the WJ to just come to consoles at all. Because the WJ, it's interesting, the WJ came out a good while ago, and a lot of you guys, you know, were wondering for the longest time, when is that WJ going to be on consoles? Because, like, I love it so much. And honestly, it was one of those things where I had no idea when it was going to come back to consoles. I just knew that I really wanted it to, you know, or at least I had no idea when the 3500 was going to come back, and I had no idea when the WJ was just going to come to consoles at all, like, period. But the fact that we have basically the entire R&R collection on consoles now is pretty freaking cool. Really freaking cool. Now, I'm going to do something at the moment that consoles can't do, and that is go into free cam and get you guys a little bit of a better look at the setup, because this is being recorded on a PC. However, both of these vehicles are, once again, like I said, available on consoles. But look at that! Look at that! That setup right there is definitely a setup that you could have so much fun with, going to the trails, hanging out with friends, you know, pulling up in a second gen on 35s with a, you know, like a WJ trail rig on the trailer, unload it, do a little bit of like trail riding or rock crawling RP with some friends, and literally then just like go back home. Like, it's so cool. It's so freaking cool, and I absolutely recommend giving this particular vehicle combination a shot, even if the R&R Customs vehicles aren't necessarily your personal favorite or your personal thing. I would still heavily recommend giving these vehicles a try. So let's go ahead and actually pull up right here and stop, unpack, and we're going to go ahead and swap over to the WJ now, fire it up, and ease it off the trailer. And I'm just going to go ahead and demonstrate to you guys this thing, how crazy this thing's rock crawling ability is. And not just rock crawling ability, but hill climbing, rock crawling, whatever you want to throw at it, basically. In 3, 2, 1, go! Oh, it sends it, that's for sure. And it definitely doesn't hesitate to climb up whatever obstacle you put in its way. That's for sure. Hill climb test was definitely an easy one. Got that out of the way pretty quick. Not a fan of this rainstorm real quick, though. This is the beauty, once again, of the DevTools on PC, is that if you're not a fan of the fact that it's, you know, storming with rain, you can be like, hey, I don't like that, I'm just gonna change it. But hopefully eventually a console version of that DevTools menu becomes available. I would love to see that become a thing. Now, the rock crawling test, which usually trips up a lot of other vehicles, is, once again, not even putting a dent in the armor of this thing. It's really not. I mean, we literally just climbed to the top of that rock hill in no time at all. Absolutely no time at all. Now, descending off of the other side now, it's a pretty gnarly angle, but I think we're definitely still capable of it. Scraping the front end a little bit, but really only ending up with 1 unit of damage. Now, I'm going to go a little bit farther than I normally do here and see if it can climb up this side. I've never really tried to climb this before, but then again, I'm always down to try new routes and new, oh god, those rocks for whatever reason are way slicker than the rocks we just climbed. Come on. I found myself what looks like a spot in the middle right here to kind of get a little bit of extra grip, but the problem is it just doesn't want to actually even find it. It's like, yep, nope. So some rocks, it's totally fine on. Other rocks, it's not. And that's not the vehicle's fault. That's more just along the lines of the fact that some of the rocks in this game are just extremely, extremely slick. Extremely slick. These, for whatever reason, are fine. The ones over there, though, not the same story by any means. So now, how are we going to get down from here without rolling ourselves over? Well, easing my way down and easing my way down. God, those loose rocks are definitely trying to get me, but okay, so it's not the greatest well, actually, it's moving. It's moving. The exit of that mud pit, for some reason, on that side is so much more challenging than many of the other mud pits on this map. I mean, there are sections of the pond that are not as difficult as the exit of this mud pit on the other side. I don't know why. I really have no idea why. But granted, I mean, at the end of the day, like, if you want challenge, definitely a good spot to come to. Get it packed. And now, we're about to head out to one of our all-time favorite locations on this map, and that is the bridge jump. Now, I've got to tell you, the bridge jump has become something of almost like a staple of these test videos, and I love that because it's always like, I always look forward to doing the bridge jump at the end of the video. I always look forward to doing everything in the video, of course, but the bridge jump at the end of the video is definitely always a highlight for me. I know it's a highlight for you guys, and it's absolutely a highlight for me as well. So we're gonna send this thing down the bridge, and of course we're gonna throw it into neutral because really, at the end of the day, neutral is gonna make it go faster than we ever would be able to in 6th gear. And that's going to give us a chance of way more airtime. And this is really the portion of any test where you get to just, like, basically let it go and not, you know, not worry about realism, not worry about anything else. Just literally just send it. And we're already in 6th gear. Let's go. There's neutral. There's neutral. Picking up speed, picking up speed, picking up speed. Whoa! Trailer started whipping on me. Oh my god. Somehow, it's still packed. It's still attached. I have no idea how it's still packed and or attached, but regardless, our hood is now like, well, it looks like a cheese grater now. But regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time.